Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. Singtao.ca reports that the United States has denied claims of an Iranian missile strike on one of its warships in the Strait of Hormuz region. The U.S. Central Command clarified on Facebook that no American Navy vessel was hit and confirmed that two U.S.-flagged ships successfully traversed the critical waterway. Earlier, Iran's Fars news agency reported that two Iranian missiles struck a U.S. warship near Port of Jask after it allegedly ignored warnings and violated maritime regulations. This incident follows a warning from Iran that any U.S. interference in the Strait would be considered a violation of a ceasefire agreement. U.S. President Trump had previously announced on Truth Social a Project Freedom operation, scheduled to begin on the morning of May 4th in the Middle East, aimed at guiding vessels currently stranded in the Strait of Hormuz. The Financial Times estimates approximately 1,000 merchant ships and 20,000 seafarers are currently trapped in the Persian Gulf, with many crews reportedly running low on food supplies. Iran's parliament is also planning to pass a Strait of Hormuz management law that would permanently ban Israeli ships, impose war reparations on vessels from hostile countries, and require authorization for other ships to pass. The UK Maritime Trade Operations (UKM-O) also reported an oil tanker being hit by an unidentified flying object off the coast of the UAE, though all crew members were safe. According to Zeosibog, a South Korean-operated cargo ship, the HMM Namu, sailing under a Panamanian flag, exploded and caught fire in the Strait of Hormuz near the United Arab Emirates on May 4th, around 7:40 p.m. Taiwan time. This incident occurred just hours after U.S. President Donald Trump announced Project Freedom, an initiative to deploy U.S. warships to guide vessels through the strait, which remains under a de facto blockade due to stalled U.S.-Iran negotiations. All 24 crew members, 6 South Korean and 18 foreign nationals, are reported safe, with no casualties. Both HMM and the South Korean Foreign Ministry are actively investigating whether the explosion was caused by an external attack and are maintaining communication with relevant nations to ensure the safety of South Korean vessels and personnel in the region. The incident highlights the escalating tensions in the strait as, the U.S. military claims, 2 guided missile destroyers have successfully breached Iran's blockade, while Iran asserts it struck a U.S. warship attempting to force entry, a claim denied by the U.S. Russian missile attacks have tragically claimed the lives of at least 8 people across Ukraine, following an unusual overnight drone strike on Moscow. In the Kharkiv region, 6 individuals were killed and over 30 wounded in the town of Merefa, where civilian infrastructure, including homes and shops, was hit by an Iskander-type ballistic missile. Separately, 2 men died in attacks on the Kharkiv region. Russia maintains its denial of intentionally targeting civilians. Meanwhile, a rare Ukrainian drone attack targeted Moscow, striking a residential high-rise in an upscale area. Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin confirmed no casualties, though a damaged apartment video was published by Russian state media. 2 other drones were reportedly repelled. These strikes on the Russian capital occurred just 5 days before Russia's annual Victory Day parade, which Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky suggested was being scaled back due to fears of drone activity over Red Square. Kyiv has intensified its attacks on Russian infrastructure recently, but successful strikes on Moscow are infrequent due to strong air defenses. This report is from Al Jazeera. According to Zeosibog, a Dutch cruise ship, the MV Hondius, operated by Oceanwide Expeditions, is currently stranded off the coast of Cape Verde after a suspected Hantavirus outbreak led to 3 deaths. The fatalities include a Dutch couple and a German passenger, with several others falling ill. One British passenger, who was transported to South Africa for treatment, has been confirmed by South African health authorities to have contracted Hantavirus. The MV Hondius began an Antarctic expedition from Argentina in March, but the suspected outbreak occurred en route. Cape Verde authorities have refused the ship permission to dock, citing public health protection as the reason. The cruise company is reportedly addressing the serious medical situation and exploring options for passengers to disembark and undergo testing in Las Palmas or Tenerife, Spain. The Dutch National Institute for Public Health and the Environment, RIVM, is investigating the source of the infection, considering possibilities such as rats on board or an infection acquired during a port call in South America. Approximately 150 tourists remain trapped on the vessel. Al Jazeera reports that India has lost its last left-wing state government, with Kerala's Left Democratic Front, LDF, being voted out after 5 decades in power. This historic shift means that for the first time since 1977, no Indian state is currently governed by a left-wing party. Kerala held unique significance, being the first state globally to democratically elect a communist government in 1957. Despite recent successes in governance, including lauded COVID-19 management and extreme poverty alleviation efforts, experts suggest the LDF's credibility suffered due to perceived ideological compromises and a shift from its traditional rebel role. Political analysts believe India's left-wing parties must now restructure, develop new leadership, and reinvent themselves as a social democratic force relevant to 21st century Indian challenges, like wealth inequality and jobless growth. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.